Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics as known classics. This is episode number 1335 and Doubleshot number 1229. Yeah, this one discussing the volumes 4 and 5 of Supergirl. First up it is Volume 4, Out of the Past. This collects issues 20 to 25 of Supergirl Volume 6. Superman Volume 3, Issue 25, and Action Comics 23.1. That comic book is, simply put, the backstory of the cyborg Superman. Which actually makes sense, because this book kind of, sets up basically her fight with the cyborg Superman, which they don't do anything with. I'm not kidding about that. They do nothing with the whole thing of her versus the cyborg Superman. They don't think with that until the next volume of the book, which they do that for the Reign of Cyborg Superman stuff. The cyborg Superman in this continuity is not Hank Henshaw. Oh no, it's not him. It's Kira's father, which they later explain in Doomed that it was Brainiac who turned into the cyborg Superman for reasons. Yep. Now, out of the past. Now, this book here, 25 itself, it's simply put part of 25 is Supergirl and Superman 25. That's part of the Krypton Returns crossover. The story arc, the crossover that was a sequel to Hell on Earth. The biggest problem with the story is the fact it had really, really terrible artwork. And it was so freaking confusing. Now, this trade has got a few rares. They have Michael Allen Nelson, Scott Lobdell, and Justin Jordan. With, oh my gosh, a boatload of artists that basically working on these issues. You have Douglas Nees, Mark Deering, Paulo Sacria, Mike Hawthorne, Kenneth Rockford, Richard Bach, Akar Albert, Ro Joyce, Chad Hart, and Wayne Fletcher. The cover art for these issues are done by Muhammad Asur, who is no longer the interior artist anymore. Nope, they changed artists. And with Dan Brown, who is the colorist in here. Now, the first 6 issues in here just deal with, get this, Supergirl come back from Hell on Earth crossover. Not much mention of her encounter with Power Girl, but just her dealing with various monsters. And, well, her meeting the cyborg Superman for the first time, which she has not noticed at this point, but that it's actually her father. Yep, it's her father. Though he did receive a slight upgrade for Rebirth for some reason. It's basically what they did with him. And, sees her mother, and it's most like an illusion. Of course, he takes him on for this opening a few issues. Yep. Yep, and then we see the stuff with Hell himself. Yes. Hell. A character who thought he was no friend of Jor-El. He really wasn't. And the whole point of this storyline is that it helps set up the events of Krypton Returns. Also, the appearance by Brainiac Spaceship. Yep, how are those Brainiac Spaceship? The skull-shaped thing. And then we have the Cyborg Superman stuff. And of course, he somehow gets cured, but he somehow gets back being Cyborg Superman with the current continuity. Yeah, and the whole point of this thing is how the Cyborg Superman wants us basically how he explained how he became what he is. And a story just involving him and how he survived the destruction of Krypton. Yep. Yeah, then we have a story arc that issues like Death Becomes Her. That actually is a nod to a Bruce Willis movie. Yep, it apparently looks like Cyborg Superman has been cured, but later on he gets turned back into him for reasons. It's an interesting story arc per se, but then leads into Krypton Returns. I mean, look how bad this cover artwork. It looks not very good. But then he gets the interior artwork. I mean, it's okay. I mean, for this issue here, it's okay. But man, oh man, the main story itself, basically, where the entire artwork is just not that good. I'm glad the fact they threw in the finale in here, because a lot of the time here's the thing, this issue along with Supergirl 25 were completely unnecessary to include in this trade. Yeah, no reason to include it. I mean, I would have kept in 2024, or kept those issues in, plus the Cyborg Superman stuff, kept that in. But the Hell on Earth stuff, that was completely unnecessary. Yeah, I would not have included it in here. The Out of the Past stuff is actually okay. Not really big half with this one. It's not much right home about with this one, but I would give this book roughly 8.5. Alright, moving on to much more better story arc stuff. We have Supergirl Volume 5, Red Daughter of Krypton. Yep, written by a brand new writer, Tony Bedard. Yep, Tony Bedard. He's a brand new writer who writes the Supergirl issues in here. And he's also the writer that leads into the Crucible stuff in the next trade. We also have Robert Dane and Charles Shaw. They wrote the single issues in here that does it with them. We also have Frank Barbie as a writer. We also have artwork by Yasser Clare, Oscar Benetti, Amir Leperco, Billy Tan, Rob Hunter, Ray McCarthy. Like, my gosh, a lot of artists on here. Dustin Neves, Corey Smith, Mike Deering, Scott Hanna, Ben Caldwell, and Gummer Ottico. Keith Rockford does the cover over here. Yeah, this book collects issues 26 to 33, Red Lanterns 28 to 29, and Green Lantern 28. That I've already kind of discussed before as part of basically one of the Green Lantern trades. Now, the stuff leading up to her becoming a Red Lantern. First has her take off the Pretty Lobo. Yes, this thing. Everybody refers to this guy as the Pretty Lobo because, like, he claims he's the actual Lobo. Yes, DC editorial really wanted this guy to be Lobo so badly they later gave him on his own, like, that basically, get this. Not long after the story arc happened, they gave him his own ongoing series as Lobo. And it got canceled after 13 issues and producing one annual. Yep. So basically the opening issues of this, it's just basically Supergirl versus Lobo. Which, oh look, here is the actual Lobo. Look at this guy. He claims this guy is the imposter. Yes, he claims this thing is the imposter. That is the actual Lobo, believe it or not. Yeah, the thing with Lobo in the current continuity prior to this guy apparently dying later coming back, it seems as though no writer had any idea what to do with Lobo. Yes, and DC editor really wanted to push this Lobo, despite not really being Lobo. And we have Supergirl encountering Dr. Shea Bartis. Yes, a character from the Scott Lobdell Superman series. Which I believe this is the only book I can think of where it's not written by Lobdell that she appears in. Yep. The examination of powers. And then we have her taking out freaking Lobo for several issues. Yep. Yeah, great. I got hands this. I think this is done by Tony Bedard does this. Yeah, Tony Bedard. And wow, this is such a fantastic story arc. Like, have her apparently killing Lobo, but not really killing him. And also debut a new character named Blaze. Yes, who only appears just for this story arc. I think she also appears briefly next door, but that's it. Yeah, this story arc is so cool. But then it leads into the stuff for the Red Lanterns. Yep. So we have her, like, still buying Lobo. He goes there planning with him. And, of course, well, then we have Saban. Where she's basically witnessing Supergirl's rage as she beats the crap out of Lobo. And she gets angry, and they belong everywhere. And then a ring a red ring shows up. Like, it says this. Garrus Awel of Krypton, you have great rage in your heart. You belong to the Red Lantern Corps. Yep, and then boom! Red Lantern Supergirl. Yep. And then of course then we have next issue Supergirl versus Red Supergirl versus Silver Banshee. And a story called Red Daughter of Krypton. Yep. Yeah, but a bit of a flashback of her while still living in Queens of the previous month, basically her trying to roast a marshmallow, and then have her fighting Silver Banshee. We have her fighting Shevin, and then she comes in the Silver Banshee so she can fight her while she's in the race before she's just raging mad. And Lobo's like, "Oh man, my ship is wrecked." Dear Doug, anything with the preposterous? Why the name says every this movie wastes time after all. Of course, Supergirl's still going nuts, goes to space. And then we lead into the Green Lantern / Red Lantern one-shot, which that's actually pretty cool. The fact this story leads into that. Yep. I'm going to move past this because, well, I've already technically discussed this already. Yep, and then we have the stuff related to Supergirl herself. Yeah, well, in this issue, this is Red Lantern 29. This is basically Supergirl's guest star appearance in the title while basically dealing with stuff in her own book. And this is also Guy's first introduction to Superman. And then he finds out that Kara's been turned into a Red Lantern. Though she does get cured of her rage thanks to the crossover with Green Lantern. You see Blaze has been wrecked. Or beat up anyways. Oh, in case you're curious though, whose idea was it for this story? This actually was Charles Show's idea to make Kira a Red Lantern. Which is an interesting idea. Despite the fact it doesn't last very long. Last this was one story arc. Oh, and we have something clearly pulled out of the 90s with this page here. On page of the trade 165. Say hello to the Boom Bop Pose. Yep. The artist I got to do this again. When I saw this, I'm like, wow. Such, like, they brought this back again. The boob butt pose. Just cause. I had to bring them up. And look, once again, another page basically this happening. Well, it's basically more reasonable anyways. Like, look, more butt boob pose. Yeah, this is actually a 90s trope. I'm surprised they brought back in here. Blaze herself is just basically doing whatever. And we get a bit of backstory for Kara. And then basically find a way to remove the Red Lantern stuff from her. And by the end of the story arc, basically, aside from doing the Red Lantern stuff and Blaze, this story arc is actually really damn good. Yep, and then eventually she is, well, she's tried with this Dominator, supposedly, and she's found innocent because she hasn't committed any crimes. And she faces alien warlord. This whole story is about 5 issues. Yes, and eventually she goes through the poisonous atmosphere. People are thinking, what's up with the poisonous atmosphere stuff? That is actually from the Superman Doom storyline. Yep, and she falls right into the poisonous atmosphere, which is able to survive it thanks to, of course, the Red Lantern ring. If you're curious, though, who the heck did this? This was General Lane. Yes, he did this. He pretty much put this Kryptonite poison over the planet. By the way, the Justice League themselves, don't go after him for doing this. Yeah, the whole point of this was to keep the Doomsday infected Superman outside of the actual atmosphere. I know the crossover stuff has not been well received due to how poorly executed the thing was. Mostly the storyline was a Scott Lobdell story, and the Supergirl was just a random tie-in to it. Though she does get cured of, well, the kryptonite poisoning, and eventually, of course, she gets rid of the ring, and then after apparently falling into the sun's ring is destroyed, She turns back into the classic Supergirl, puts back on her current costume. And then we cut to Fairchild, Caitlin Fairchild, which they revealed this in the pages of Ravagers. This is actually not the same Caitlin Fairchild, but this is a clone. Oh, and love the 13 on her outfit. Yeah, that's a nod to Gen 13, which is the comic she's most known for. And she's here with Burnout, Rainmaker, Freefall, Grudge, and Superboy. You're probably thinking, what the heck is this? This, I believe, is supposed to be like a version of, I think it's not the Ravagers, probably Gen 13, but why is Superboy wearing a jacket? I have no idea. But in the case of this story altogether, it is really, really good. A damn good story arc. And not like Volume 4, which I get that with 8.5. This, I'm going to get this one at 9.5 because this felt like a very good improvement over what the series would give it. And I keep thinking, like, why didn't Tony Bedard stay in the book longer? Because this arc was good. Exciting, gripping, good pacing with it. And by the end, she basically has her Kryptonite red ring removed. Yep, and can you believe that only happened... Let's see, how long ago was that? That was about 7 years ago. Yeah, that was 7 years ago. And, well, next Comic Corner is the end of this run. Yep, the end. But this is pretty much it for this particular review. Next one, discussing the final trade of this run and a Batman trade. Okay, see you next video. Bye.